All right, the end of the week. What a week. Come and see, the Zohar says. Come and see. It's a very important piece of Zohar. It says, as much as the Shekhinah does not reveal itself only in a place in which is appropriate to, okay? There are some places, if it's an impure place, and so on and so forth, the Shekhinah is not going to be there. So only in a place like this. Therefore, Eina Nir'et is not being seen and is not being revealed, Ela bebarnash de'itchazilei, only in a person who is appropriate to it as well. You need to look at the person. Does he have good deeds? Is he a person who is appropriate that the Shekhinah would be revealed in him? Is he a Kli Kodesh? Is he a holy vessel? And there's something very important to understand, that concept of Kli Kodesh. Many of when you go in Shidduchim and so on and so forth, the girls wants a learner and earner. Learner and earner. However, when it comes to the real things, the learner goes out and the earner stays. There are very few girls who truthfully want a Kli Kodesh, a guy who's going to be a holy vessel. And yet there are very few guys who want to become a holy vessel as well. So it goes hand in hand. If a person wants to be a Kli Kodesh, you need to sit down, first of all, think about it very carefully, about what it means, what it takes to be one, and then think about it again. It's not so easy. It's tremendous dedication. In order to be a Kli Kodesh, a holy vessel, a person needs to awaken the Avraham in him. The person who would not pay attention to those who make fun of him. Hamaligim alav. Yes, as the halacha says in the first siman of the Shulchan Aruch. Az kalamer ve'ratz katzevi ve'gibor ka'ari. You have to be a hero, like a lion, to stand against those who make fun of you. Why are you sitting there learning in Yeshiva all day long? Go to work, become whatever you want to become. But it's a tremendous thing to a person who wants to dedicate himself le'avodat Hashem. A Kli Kodesh. In the ancient times, in the old days, there were people who were Bnei Nevi'im, those who were apprentices of prophets. And all they want to do is prepare themselves to be worthy of getting Nevuah maybe one day. It's embarking on a spiritual journey. So he's here. However, the Kli Kodesh, to become a Kli Kodesh, is on a higher level to become what we call an apprentice, a ben Navi, an apprentice of a prophet. Why? Because maybe you'll get the prophecy, maybe you won't get it. However, if one turns himself into a Kli Kodesh, into a holy vessel, for sure the Shekhinah will come and dwell upon him. So the Zohar says, it says, from the day that Lot wanted to change away his ways, nistalek ruach hakodesh be'Avraham. Right? Avraham Avinu lost his ruach hakodesh because Lot was around them. Kshelot nifrad, when Lot separated from Avraham, miyad shara alav ruach hakodesh b'mkomo. It's my stomach. Okay, so it not only it affects what, look, Avraham Avinu, Padre Querido, Luz de Israel. It's a special song, right? You know the song? Cuando re Nimrod la campo salí. You know the song? Sing it. Oh, you don't know how to sing it. So when Avraham Avinu, the holy father of Am Yisrael, when Lot flipped his ways while he was with Avraham Avinu lost his Ruach HaKodesh. So Ruach HaKodesh says, Habibi, this town is too small for the two of us. I'm out of here. So also it's very important to pick up your friends. You could be a tremendous person, but you have friends, Ruach HaKodesh is going to go away from you. And it says, and you should see, come and see, when Avraham Avinu saw that Lot went back to his old ways, Hayam mefached, he was afraid. Amar, maybe chas v'shalom, because I was in contact or friendly with him, I lost from him, because of him, the holy part on which HaKadosh Baruch Hu had crowned me with. As soon as Lot disappeared, HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and said to him, lift your eyes and see. He says, Ma makom asher ata roeh, what is the place in which you see? And it says, the place in which you connected with in the beginning. In other words, it came back to you again. So, we spoke yesterday about a spiritual journey. We talked a little bit today about a spiritual journey. You need to understand, when we talk about spirituality, this is not some monkey business that you're going to be dealing with. This is a very serious matter that demands a tremendous commitment on your behalf. I am sorry to tell you, most people talk about spirituality. Actually, not most. Okay, let's say most. Most people talk about spirituality. Some people actually looking for spirituality, but very few people find it. And the reason is very simple. They don't want to go on the journey. But everybody can. And you see it that this was the problem of Am Yisrael from the very beginning. To be Am kechol hagoyim, we want to be like the rest of the nations. As long as we want to be like the rest of the nations, Shechina says, Yofi, you know what? Not here. Am levadad ishkon, we do what we do, you do what you do, but we do what we do. And in Hashem you trust, the Shechina comes. We want Mashiach, we want this one, we want Shatiach. I want Shechina. I want Am Yisrael to be, all Am Yisrael to be a Kli Kodesh. Because even if Mashiach comes, he's not coming if we are not worthy. And worthy is, we have to become Kli Kodesh. We have to become a chariot for the Shechina. There is a special kavanah that people do with contemplation of different pronunciation and punctuation of the holy name, which they attribute that to their body, to the head, to the top of the head, the hands and limbs, and so on and so forth. And at the end, you make a special prayer that you should be worthy to become a chariot for the Shechina. You just need to make sure that the wheels don't fall off in the middle of the ride. The first step in spirituality is being truthful. So try to be truthful. Second step is caring. Start caring. Care about people. Care about what you do. Care about your people. The third step. Is there a third step? Of course there's a third step. The third step has to do with the fire for you inside. How much are you willing to commit belongs to the first two. How much you're willing to be dedicated is the next step, the third step. And dedication means attachment. How much are you willing to walk the walk when you can't walk anymore? When you're tired, when you're hungry, and you're still operating because of the commitment that you made. You attach yourself to the goal and you don't stop. And that's why Kadosh Baruch Hu says to Am Yisrael, because you went after me in a foreign land, in the desert, hungry and tired, and you attach yourself to me. Belechtecha charai b'midbar 40 shana. Maybe this gives us a different meaning for the reason for spinning around the desert for 40 years. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see how much we really not only walk the walk, talk the talk, but walk the walk. I'm going to spin you around the desert for 40 years. Let's see if you still want to be around me. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, because of that, you'll go in. So when things are not convenient to you, when you have work and school and you're tired and you're burnt out, are you going to quit? Or are you going to push further to reach the mission? That's the third step. And that's the commitment, and that's your dedication. And that is Shabbat Shalom.